Bryant here with SFOT Source.
And Richard!
Yeah, Richard is with me. It is like 5 p.m. on a Sunday. We're kind of gambling here, hoping that maybe the park will clear out a little bit. And I was thinking, we've never done a video at the park when it's dark, so why not do it today? Because why not, right? Other things we're going to be working on are the Then and Now series. If you guys haven't checked out the Then and Now series, go to the main website, go to extra features, you'll see that. Kind of a cool little thing where we find pictures from the past, take pictures of current states of the park and put them together, and then kind of tell you what you're looking at and how things have changed. So we're working on that. We're probably going to see some shows. I've nailed you guys with a lot of show footage lately, so I'm probably not going to put that in there. And of course we'll eat, and here comes a thing. Yep. We'll eat, we'll get some dinner, we'll kind of see what our options are. Not really sure how Sunday night is here. But yeah, we'll also do some Q&A. There's also a big trip that I have planned that I'll kind of elaborate on later. So let's go into the park. You don't even know. You know, I wanted Richard to try out this awesome meatball sub, but the place we ate at last weekend is closed.
Super close.
But I guess we could look at All American Cafe because they serve it there. I don't know. I try to kind of stay away from that place.
I am Richard. Welcome to Six Below. As you can see,
oh, Richard's getting shady. We're over here at Southern Palace. This is going to be part of the Then and Now project. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. I don't want to spoil it for you. The Then and Now project comes out in July, probably the beginning to mid of July. I haven't really decided yet. Chart Toppers is about to begin. We're not going to see this one. We're going to see the 7:30 show. So last weekend I showed you guys that they put up this queue area in front of Metropolis Snacks. Well, across the pathway, you now have it at the Coke stand and the Dippin' Dot stand over here by Aquaman. Pretty awesome. It really keeps this all cleared out. It's safe to say that Aquaman isn't running today based off the fact that it has 0 water in it. Not really sure what's going on here, but there is a maintenance truck or two out here, so looks like they're welding something. This guy down here is hanging out with some welding materials, so
someone forgot their umbrella.
Not super sure. I have no idea how long it'll be closed. Hopefully not too long. Richard, what's happening?
Oh my god! I'm finally getting my fruit swirl. If y'all have been watching the videos constantly, you know that every time I come here, the fruit stand place is closed. And this is my first time getting it.
It's open.
Oh my
It's time.
God.
Good to know, Six Flags. Good to know. You guys already know how I feel about the fruit swirl, because when I was here with Joseph a couple months ago, I got one. But Richard, how do you feel about the fruit swirl?
It's been about 3 seasons I've been waiting for this.
It's a little exaggerated, but
and it was worth it. It's so worth it.
Is it delicious?
Look how big it is.
Yeah, so you guys can find these in the Boomtown section of the park at the Dole Fruit Swirl stand, which is across from Gunslinger. Apparently one of the positions at Six Flags is Guitar Hero player. I'm gonna have to go online at sixflagsjobs.com and apply, because that sounds pretty awesome. They are really throwing these steel, or I guess I should say aluminum queue lines up. So we're at Newman's Cafe and Tower, and they have them here. Really awesome.
You're a big boy, turtle. Hello, turtle, that is.
There's a bunch of turtles over here. Do you think they're planning something? The little one's like, come on, Dad. Oh. So as you guys can see, virtual reality on Shockwave is gone. They took the sign down. However, the entrance is still through this little covered platform area. You can see in the sign over here that it says Flash Pass entrance only over where you would assume that you go. However, it's got a pretty long line today. I don't know if we can see it from here. Let's find out. Yeah, you can't really see it from here. Well, I guess you can. It's going down about 2 of those little ramp areas at the top. I really want to ride this now that it doesn't have VR again, so me and Richard are going to have to come back when it gets a little later and see if the line's gone down any. Another cool thing that they added in Boomtown over by the train tracks is this pretty crazy photo booth, and it looks like it, instead of giving you like a strip, it takes legitimate like wanted posters. So yeah, pretty awesome, and it takes cards, so if you want to do it, you can use your card, and it's $5. But still a really cool idea, and it's also themed to the area, which is also really cool as well. You guys remember that churro stand I told you about in the last video? Here it is. Still not done, there's a fence in the way, but I kind of like the idea. I've been told that there are fryers and everything inside of there, so the churros this should be the freshest place to get churros in the park. It's located right at the entrance of the Joker. So we'll keep you updated. Not sure when that's gonna open, but it looks like it could open at any time. I'm not sure if that's theme park appropriate. So before I show you guys the food, I just want to say we just went to Macho Nacho here in Boomtown across from Mine Train, and their crew was really nice. We got our service, it was really fast, everyone was really responsive. So really awesome to see that happening, because as you guys know, there's a lot of food issues that end up happening out at this park. I just told you guys we went to Macho Nacho in Boomtown, and we got the chicken fajita nachos. If my camera will, there we go, camera focus, awesome.
Oh, focus.
Richard also got the same thing, so we'll eat it and we'll let you know how it tastes when we're done.
This is little Yachty.
Hey Richard, how are those nachos?
They really sucked, I don't really like them. They were so peppery, I couldn't even eat them. I don't wanna buy them ever again. They can't go to the trash right now.
Well, before Richard went full shade on the food, I kinda gotta agree with him. Yeah, I wouldn't pay $11.99 for that. Let's just say that's the retail price on that if you don't have a dining pass. Hello folks, did you see that beam of light?
Can you see me because I'm black? Okay, we're good.
We traveled through space and time to do the question and answer, which means I need to get my phone out.
I'm the Black Doctor Who.
So basically what really happened is we didn't get to do question and answer inside the park, so I'm gonna do it right now, and then we're gonna put it into the video somewhere else. All right. Question number 1 is from Bridget, and she asked this on our Instagram account at SFOT Source, and she said, between SFOT and SFFT, which is Six Flags Over Texas, Six Flags Fiesta Texas, which park do you think has the best shows? And and then she asked, how long have you known Richard? So I'll answer the first part.
Thanks for the shout out, Bridget.
Yeah, and we're probably actually going to see her when we go to Fiesta, so
can't wait to see ya.
I'll answer the first part of that. Obviously, and this is not a knock on anything, Six Flags Fiesta Texas has the better shows by far, and there's good reason. That is a show park. That is the park that puts the most money, the most resources into the shows and the performers and just everything that they do. So, whoa, light's crazy. There's like a street sweeper. Anyways, so yeah, they have, they have the better shows. There's nothing wrong with the shows at Six Flags Over Texas. It's just the expectation is not the same. People go to Fiesta Texas to see shows. There are a lot of people that go to Fiesta Texas just to see the shows. And that park is still catering to that, even though it feels like it dwindles a little bit every few years. Hopefully it doesn't dwindle all the way down, because I really appreciate it. And like I said, nothing wrong with the Six Flags Over Texas shows. For what they are, the performers do a great job, and everybody tries really hard, but it's just, there's not the same availability to the resources at Six Flags Over Texas. So to make that answer as complicated as possible, I've known Richard since 2012.
Yep.
We went to college together, and that's right, North Texas. Went to college together, we were roommates for a while, and yeah, we've just been friends ever since. So I'm gonna move on to the second question, and this was from Scott. he asked this on the Facebook page, and he said, if you could bring back one attraction, what would it be? That's a tough question.
Ooh.
Richard, do you really have any kind of recollection of past rides here?
Past rides over Texas, not so much, but spinning off of that question, I would like Astroworld in Houston to come back. You know, because I kind of miss it. I was born and raised in Houston, so Astroworld was my Six Flags with the dungeon drop. If y'all remember that drop tower, that one was themed beautifully. So that's like one of the main rides. That and they had like a little coaster that did loop-de-loop and the flash and
Grease Lightning?
Grease Lightning,
Yeah.
that was the one. Love that. So those two, bring them back. Put them in Over Texas.
I think for me now, the park has lost a few rides since I've been here, notably, or since I've been alive and could remember. Notably, Bumper Cars, Flashback, Texas Shootout. I don't necessarily miss any of those rides, to be honest. I think that what has replaced those rides has been great. I do miss Shootout from time to time. It was just a really fun ride, and Texas Sky Screamer is great, but you know, Shootout had its own little thing going, and it was just really neat. Now, a ride that I really want to ride that the park had that I wasn't alive for is Big Bend, which was a roller coaster kind of over by, back behind Aquaman and where Looney Tunes, or Bugs Bunny Boomtown, what it's called now, kind of where that was. Everyone talks about how awesome that roller coaster was, and I would love for that to be a thing, but you know, I heard it was kind of a nightmare capacity-wise, maintenance-wise. And the Spelunker Cave is something that everyone goes crazy about, and the Looney Tunes ride, unfortunately, just kind of, it doesn't look so good most of the time, and it would be cool to have that imagination back. That's not something that's so corporate, because you know, they have the rights to all the Looney Tunes characters, so that's kind of why that ride exists. But the Spelunker Cave was something that was imagined by Six Flags, and I think it would be cool to step back in time and see something that they created on their own and didn't just buy the rights to. But that's just me. You know, I don't know.
The more you know.
That's right. All right, we got one more question. This is from Aaron, and he asked this on the Facebook page. He said, what are they going to do with Judge Roy Scream? If they take it out and drain the pond, they can put a large coaster in that area. That was kind of a thing 5 to 10 years ago. I think a lot of people really talked about that. Nothing's going to happen to Judge Roy Scream, I don't think. The way that Six Flags as a corporation operates now is very cookie cutter, and that might not be the nicest thing to say, but that's what it is. If you look around, a lot of people are getting the 4D SNS free fly coasters. A lot of people are getting the Fireball flat rides. They're still installing Sky Screamers. They're installing the Frisbees. And the days of Six Flags saying, hey, we're going to build the biggest, craziest thing ever, those days are over. I don't know if you guys know this or not, Six Flags filed bankruptcy not too long ago, and a lot of the bankruptcy issues came from them.
Autofocus.
There we go. A lot of the bankruptcy issues came from them just going crazy and building all these rides, purchasing all these parks. So I would not expect Judge Roy Scream to go anywhere. I would not expect them to ever drain the pond and build a huge ride. It's just not going to happen. And plus, Judge Roy Scream is the only wooden coaster that is still left in the park, because Texas Giant is a hybrid now, so that's the only true form wooden coaster that we have left. It's also a bit of a landmark when you're coming into the park, and they've really tried to keep up with it. If you watched our first video from Six Flags Over Texas this year, you saw that we talked about how they retracked a bunch of it. They're trying to keep it in decent shape.
Got a lot smoother.
Yeah, I don't expect Judge Roy Scream to go anywhere, especially now that they've kind of cornered out the Gotham City section. I mean, they built Joker, they built Riddler Revenge, Catwoman Whip. They've really filled that area in. So the idea of, hey, we're going to build a large roller coaster, I just don't see that. I don't see that happening. The whole, they're not in business to do that anymore. You know, they used to say, hey, what can we build that's crazy and insane? And they're not. That's just not a thing anymore. So I hope that doesn't burst your bubble, Aaron, but that's just my take on how the company is kind of rolling, the direction they're rolling in now. All the parks are becoming more and more alike, and they're losing their uniqueness, and I'm the kind of person that doesn't like that, but they're making money. So the business plan is working for them, and they're just going to keep going as long as it's working, I think. So, yeah. So we only got 3 questions.
Thank you, everyone, for your questions.
Absolutely. If you guys follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, I will post, you know, something that says, hey, ask us a question, and we'll answer it in our vlog. So be on the lookout for those. If you don't know how to follow us on social media, go down to the description. We have all the links there. And so now we're going to teleport back into the park. Oh! It's starting to get a little darker in the park. We just watched Chart Topper's Ovation. We're going to try to ride some rides here in the Gotham City section. Probably do Riddler and Joker.
Isabel.
It's getting real dark now. We just finished up on Joker, and that's actually Richard's first time riding this one. I'll ask him what he thought. First time on the Joker, how was it?
That was mind-blowing. Bow. So we literally flipped, was upside down going over a hill, which was a problem.
Yeah, we got the crazy ride. Next up,
Riddler.
time for Riddler.
Right, right. Don't get shot. Everyone was like, it was like,
Okay, folks, that's gonna do it for this trip to Six Flags Over Texas. I'm gonna try to make this quick just because our Q&A went really long. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a few weeks before we're back out at this park. I do have some exciting news. Next weekend, which is the 4th of July weekend, I will be going to Washington, D.C. And the plan right now is to, day 1, either hit Six Flags America or Knoebels. We haven't decided. Day 2 is going to be Six Flags Great Adventure. And day 3 is going to be Hershey Park. So expect videos from all of those parks. I think it's going to be an awesome trip. It's going to be cool to see some other Six Flags parks and kind of see how they do things versus how we do things. Cars making noises. And then the weekend after that, Richard and I and one of our friends from Six Flags Over Texas,
we're going to Fiesta.
Yeah, we're finally going back to Fiesta, Texas. I know I told you guys it was going to be late July. It's going to be early July, and then again in late July, hopefully, if everything works out. So we'll get you some Thunder Rapids stuff. We'll show you Celebrate, and we'll kind of walk the park and see what else has changed. Be on the lookout for a live shows exclusive. We did one for Chart Toppers. I'll get that put together and get that on the channel here in the near future. And yeah, make sure you guys follow us on social media. We post all kinds of stuff about the park, about what we're doing, anything, you know, that is regarding Six Flags, really. And check out the main website, sfotsource.com, if you're wondering about show times or what your dining options are, if you have questions about certain rides in the park, all of that information is on there. There's an insane amount of information on that website, so make sure you guys check it out. That's going to do it for this trip.
SFOT Source out.